Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Patty G Show, where we sit down with Lex and talk about gaming, my lack of knowledge in gaming, and also how a city has been overrun with frogs. All this to come in the next episode of the Patty G Show, brought to you by our favorite sponsors, Belia Real Estate, Lakeman's Health Center, Cortex, and PB&J Productions. Enjoy the show.
My co-founder and I used to play these Mario Party games on the Nintendo 64, really since, I'm talking like diapers territory here. And over time, we kept at it. We loved the sense of community we got on these party games. And we noticed that people were playing them a whole lot more and more connected, really just over the internet during COVID.
Oh, and super big boom during COVID for those types of games.
For online games? Absolutely. So we wanted to capture the magic of that and bring it to the PC. And so that's how we formulated the Griffin Games studio, where we're building Top Dog, which is what we would describe as the next generation of these party games. We're capturing kind of a nostalgic vibe with the 2D art that you might see in Paper Mario, kind of that aesthetic, but it's in a three-dimensional world. We call that like a 2.5D. 2.5D, that's right. Because the background and all is 3D, but you have 2D characters interacting with each other. And there's some really neat aspects of the game, too. Because it's an online game first, and it's on the PC, people don't usually hook a computer up, a gaming desktop up to the living room PC, right? So because of that, we have a unique design space to work inside of. This is a single person playing a game, looking at a single screen. Normally, you have to have multi-split screen, right? In a typical Mario Party local couch co-op game. And, for all the listeners out there, I'm not throwing out a lot of jargon. In what we're talking about here is Mario Party. So couch co-op is just a genre of video game where everyone sits in the same area and kind of do a cooperative
I see the same
party
screen.
fest. Yeah. Exactly. And because of that, certain gameplay elements can be non-existent or very hard to implement, like if you were going to do a hide and seek game, how can you do a hide and seek game if someone is sitting right next to you, right?
Yeah.
So that was one area where we really wanted to innovate with what we're building. And then in addition to that, we really focused in on mod support. So you guys are kind of into some old school gaming. You know that a lot of these games have lived long and healthy lives because they have community generated content that people can import into the games and keep them alive and really just enhance the experience for the players. So we really wanted to be modding first. So those are kind of our core tenets there, that we're online first and also very heavily mod supported. We have some collaborations right now. I mean, the game is still very much under wraps. It's in a development phase, but we're really excited to announce it next year. Just bringing it out with our first crowdfunding campaign. We've been working on it for a couple years now. Video games are a labor of love. It takes a very long time to make one. I was about to say,
like, how long on average does it take to make a game?
Oh my goodness. Well, it depends on the game.
Right.
And
probably wasn't that long.
This is a multi-million-dollar budget game. We're really targeting that AAA feel with what we're building here. And the crowdfunding campaign isn't so much to make money to fund the game development, although it'll help. It's more to draw some attention and prove the viability of the game in the market. But it can take a long time. We're talking like sometimes 6, 7, 8 years to make a video game. Very much a labor of love. You don't know how it's going to perform until it's released. Kind of like a movie in that sense. So yeah, that's Griffin Games. We have some partnerships with some really big influencers out there. I mean, there was one of them, I can't announce who they are, but they've once held the most subscribers on Twitch TV, which is a video game live streaming service.
Okay. So. We can always bleep the name out, right, Jay?
I
mean, at this point, we can be creative with it,
right? So we have some great partnerships for promotion there. That's the story of Griffin Games. I guess...
But there was something before Griffin Games and before
Absolutely.
what you're in now.
Right.
Kind of in the same space, but kind of like had an ebb and flow from my understanding. Let's take a step back.
There's been a lot of ebbing. It's a great time. How many steps back? Let's take a step back probably to my childhood.
Okay.
This is getting a little therapeutic, but
let's look. We got the couch rolling in here now.
Yes, please bring it on. So, origin stories. I grew up on the West Bank, in Marrero, Louisiana, and single mom. We were not very well off, Patty. It was very much a struggle. She was a teacher at a private school, and if you know anything about private schools, the teachers don't make a whole lot of money. And again, supporting me by herself. So it was myself and my sister, and we had a little apartment in the West Bank. Now, one evening, I was a little kid. I'm probably 6 or 7 years old. I heard a loud banging on the door, just boom, boom, boom. And my mom was out at the time. Sometimes she worked pretty late, and my sister was at practice. I think she was doing soccer at the time. So I hear bang, 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 and it keeps going on for a good 10 minutes. And I'm just a little boy. I'm scared, terrified.
Right.
So I hid. I did like the only thing I could do. I ran away. So I just went into a closet and shut the door and just started cowering in there. And we were being burglarized. So front door gets knocked in. I know there were multiple people because I could hear them talking to one another. So several men had come in and really ransacked our home and took what they could before leaving. And it was something like that happening to you when you're that young.
Traumatizing.
Yeah, it's a very formative experience.
Right,
I'll say that. And I made this comment, but I feel like one of the things I was put on this earth to do is create, or myself be, a conduit for social good in the world. And I think that was probably one of the most influential points of my life that contributed to feeling that way. So how this manifested is really, in Louisiana, we have a very high crime rate here. Actually, as far as murder's concerned, we are number one, baby. We have the highest per capita murder rate in the country. We've had it for over 35 years now. It is a serious problem here in Louisiana. And I wanted to do something about that. So having that background in software technology, growing up, I'd be on my computer all the time. My mom would say, "You're never gonna, get a job programming. Nobody's a coder out there," which is a crazy thing to think about in hindsight.
Yeah, now one of the higher paying jobs in the area.
You can't spend all day building websites was something that I would hear a lot growing up. And I wanted to apply that practical skill set, my engineering background, to this crime problem that we have. It's really a problem. So at LSU, for our capstone project, we got into a group and we were thinking about what we could do here in Baton Rouge. And Baton Rouge, at least at the time, I think it's still the case, they publish their crime data. It's a OpenBR data project where they'll post the location, the type of crime, the event that occurred, and just for transparency's sake with the public. And we thought, hey, we could do something with that. So we started plotting this on a map. This is back in like 2018, plotting it on a map. And we thought we could take this thing like a step further because we had this background in data science where this is before AI was like cool, right?
Right.
We wanted to see if we could predict where crime might happen next in a location. This is not Minority Report. We're not saying like any one individual.
There's no eye in the sky, so to speak.
Exactly.
It's just you and data looking and trying to project.
Well, because a lot of people, a lot of organizations, municipalities want to have this crime data, whether it's law enforcement or fire or EMS, if you're city planning, insurance companies, etc. So for us, we were able to take this crime data and use the transformer architecture, which is just the fancy way of saying this is the back end stuff that powers the modern large language models like ChatGPT that you guys have all come to know and love, where it was predicting the next crime that would happen in an area. It's like a forecast, just like ChatGPT will predict the next token or word that it's going to spit out in its output. So we were building models that were forecasting crime over an area. And we saw a ton of success with that early on. I found a great team of students that I had worked with at LSU in my computer science program. And we went to graduate, and there was just this flood of interest,
Yeah.
This is a nice feel-good project, a bunch of students coming together, trying to tackle one of our great state's toughest problems. And we put together a good $150,000, which for senior Lex Adams was a big deal, right? And then we proceeded to blow it all in like 3 months on development.
Oh,
it is an
gosh.
expensive endeavor to make things. So, we very quickly realized that business is not like school. We can build things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have buyers lined up right out the door to come take our software. We had no idea
Right.
how to sell.
Because who's buying that?
Right. It's law enforcement. Your municipal services certainly would like to know where crime is happening for deterrence reasons. If you want to, you're having a lot of vehicle break-ins. There's a lot of software out there where, like Predpol or Palantir, you may be familiar with the latter, that offer similar predictive policing services to law enforcement agencies. But for us, we had no idea how to sell to law enforcement. We were never law enforcement. We had no law enforcement experience. It was a very powerful lesson in market research, like know your customer, and not biting off more than you can chew. So we built a great product. We actually started selling the heck out of it. And then COVID happened. And COVID shook up many businesses, many industries. Typically, your software businesses were thriving under the COVID market. But we were in this unique position where we were primarily selling to the cities, and municipal funding was getting rerouted from your public safety to health. And so naturally, law enforcement agencies were cutting their budgets so that they could preserve their staff. And we were one of the first pieces of software, one of the first budget items that were on the chopping block.
So you'd already sold at this time 2 different municipalities.
Oh, yes.
Just within the state or without the
Within
state?
the state.
Okay.
That's right. And we had partners that were reselling it in other states as well. But for us and what we were managing right here in the state, we would have integrations with partners that would work outside of the state.
Got it.
So COVID unfortunately brought the axe to a lot of what we were doing. We saw the writing on the wall that we didn't, and also no one knew how long COVID was gonna be. How many years we would be on lockdown, because no one's out committing crimes when everyone's indoors, right?
Right.
So we got together. I say we, it's my team. We were 15 strong at this time. All 15. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Software developers. I mean, through and through. I'm the one with the most business acumen in the company, and that's still the case to this day, actually. And we decided, hey, are we gonna close shop? Are we going to go our separate ways? I mean, I've loved working with all of you. We've got skills. We could apply these skills to other people's problems. We built something that was really innovative for the time, and really even today, that would be a very innovative platform. There's not a lot of people out there that are doing this really advanced, data-driven, location kind of geospatial machine learning work. And so I love my team for this, that they all just kind of rallied around it. And this was a market where they could go and get hired. I mean, especially these guys are the cream of the crop from LSU software. They could go and get hired anywhere they wanted. So the fact that they stayed with me and have stuck it out for so long was just so touching. And we were able to take these skills that we had learned from spending this time building disruptive software in the startup space. We wanted to start applying that to other businesses as well. And so that's exactly what we did. We started making apps. Apps are like your desktop apps, mobile apps, web apps, and for startups, people that were being disruptive and innovative in their respective ecosystems. That is how we got to what we're now calling grass-fed development. Okay, but it was all under this. Initially, it's never as clean as people present it in the LinkedIn profile, right? There's always some messy transitioning through brands. So technically, we were doing some of that work under Crimer, and then Vigilus spun up, which was a cybersecurity offering. And by the way, that's kind of where we landed after this. So we're building software, and then we started getting a lot of requests for cybersecurity, and we happen to have a really strong connection to maritime. And I had some great cybersecurity practitioners on my team, top people at LSU. We're talking about now at this time LSU's going through the transition to becoming a top 10 cybersecurity school in the nation, and now they really have made that list. So we had some fantastic practitioners there. We really wanted to capitalize on that industry as well. So that's where Vigilus was formed, where we are a maritime cybersecurity firm. Actually, even today, and that's probably the coolest phrase that I get to say on a regular basis. Maritime cybersecurity firm. These are like digital pirates.
Right.
Like today, we were sent off to assess a vessel. Like, we're hacking boats. These guys were out there with a slingshot and a USB, like a flash drive, slingshotting these onto the deck of the vessel. And
y'all were?
Yeah, that's right.
Why are we slingshotting USBs onto a vessel?
Great question. Because people are curious. The human mind cannot see a USB lying around a flash drive and not want to plug it into their computer. So I think maybe Mr. Robot popularized these things. They're called like rubber duckies, or really what this whole area is a bad USB attack, where people will see just a random flash drive and they're like, "Oh, I want to see what's in here. I mean, I gotta return it to its owner at least."
Right, you gotta figure out whose it is.
Sure, right? Human curiosity. It's a powerful thing that we take advantage of in cybersecurity. So people go plug it into their computer. As part of our engagements, we get a notification. There's like a canary that goes off here. Someone plugged in USB number 3 into the computer.
So you will shoot like multiple USBs on the deck.
That's right. Now, that's not the only thing that we do.
Right. But like, just as one example. But how are people not seeing you drive up to this?
Sometimes they do. Okay. Sometimes they do. And sometimes you can get in trouble. So it happens very often, especially when there's a physical component for your assessments, because where we're going, you typically need like TWIC cards. You're sneaking. If it's a stealth engagement, these are called like black box cybersecurity engagements. You're sneaking past the Port Authority. You are quite literally like creeping, trying to get through. Sometimes literally like on foot. Sometimes you're riding up on a little boat of your own. Usually you can just drive up though. Most port authorities are going to be fairly lax. And so you creep up, if you can, without getting caught. Sometimes people get caught. Sometimes people get arrested, especially if they're found out to be doing something nefarious. Probably see that more often in physical testing in the banks, but it's not unusual for people to go to jail as part of doing these good guy assessments.
And that you're hired to do.
That we're hired to do.
Right. Let's just be clear.
Let's be totally clear.
Let's be clear. You're not just some maritime criminal.
Right. When I said digital pirates, we're like the good kinds of pirates.
Right. The white hat hackers, right?
We do it exactly. We are white hat hackers. It's purely offensive cybersecurity. And so like these guys get held up at gunpoint sometimes and have to they're brought to jail. They bring a little card with them. That's like a get out of jail free card, basically like, hey, call this number. It's the CEO of the company. They're going to corroborate what I'm saying. We were hired to do this. The interesting thing though, Patty.
Have y'all ever been caught?
Yeah, of course. But let me tell you what we do. And this is what gets them every time. We bring a fake card with us. So we actually have 2 cards.
So before you continue down this line, is this okay to be telling everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
cool.
sure. No.
Cool.
These are not tricks of the trade or anything like that. These are I want more people to be aware of.
If
these.
Anything, it's just building awareness of some
exactly.
of the things
These are
people
tactics.
Are
hey, if you guys are in physical security and you're listening to this, this is what will happen sometimes. People will bring 2 cards. Okay. So there's the get out of jail,
the actual card.
Then there's a fake one, and the fake one's going to look a lot like the real one, except it's not quite accurate. Maybe it doesn't have the right phone number on it, and a lot of the time they'll be doing these assessments and they get caught. And you'd be surprised. I mean, like, at least for us, we do get caught. You know, it happens. No matter how good your acting skills are. And then they'll come up to you and you get real close and you say, "Good job. You passed. I'm going to put in a good word for you." You show them the fake card and you say, "I'm going to continue my investigation now, but just so you know, you did a good job catching me." And then you put the card back in your pocket and then they let you go. And they're not supposed to do that. Right. The fact that you were able to show them a fake card and give them some praise and they let you on your way, it's quite the opposite of a good mark. It's a bad mark.
This episode of the Patty G Show is brought to you by Cortex. Cortex is the trusted technology partner for small businesses across Louisiana, delivering managed IT, cybersecurity, and smart strategies to help you leverage AI without the confusion. I mean, aren't we all confused by AI nowadays? As a locally owned company, we understand the challenges Louisiana businesses face and provide tailored solutions that keep your operations secure and efficient. Whether you're looking to strengthen your cybersecurity or explore how AI can give your business a competitive edge, Cortex is here to help. Be sure to mention the Patty G Show and receive a free cybersecurity risk and analysis to see where your business stands.
And so we can often use this kind of social engineering in our engagements to get to where we need to go. It can be a dangerous field sometimes. Now, frankly, for what we're doing, which is a lot of the maritime cybersecurity, it doesn't happen with the same intensity that you'll often do with, typical bank penetration tester. We'd call it physical penetration testing. Yeah, but there's always a cyber component to that too.
So back to the boat and the throwing the USB drives on there. So y'all are just riding up to these boats with slingshots, just slinging the stuff on there.
If it's off the vessel, yeah. So there's different kinds of engagements. There's your black box, your gray box, and your white box. And these all describe the level of knowledge that we have coming into the engagement. So, and again, we're only doing offensive assessments here. So this is, we are we're simulating an attack by a sophisticated, we take on a persona. It's not always a sophisticated attacker. Usually it's a sophisticated attacker. And in this case, if it's a black box where we think that we're just going to be coming at this thing purely from an outside perspective, usually we're given a scenario. In this case, do not board the vessel. That's what we were told. Do everything from offshore, or do everything from the from the shore, right? So yes, in this case, we do get to slingshot the flash drives. We have a vehicle outfitted with a big old antenna on the top, so we can deploy our tools onto the network and run our scans properly. Yeah, we have different cool hacker utilities, whether that's something that tries to intercept the Wi-Fi, like present a dummy Wi-Fi signal for people to connect to, so you can intercept the data that's coming off of it, to things like the rubber ducky that we were just talking about. Because right now, supply chain and logistics, there's the world is being shaken up a lot by cyber threat actors. The U.S. Coast Guard recently released their new CFRs around cybersecurity. It's just code and rules and regulation that U.S. flagged vessels and facilities have to follow. This was back in, I want to say, May, when this was officially codified. So you're seeing a lot of vessels taking their cybersecurity more seriously because they're required to by law. Previously, boat captains, they wouldn't even know how to spell computer. Now they're actually taking steps, taking the sticky notes off of the the monitor that has their
here's the
username and
password. Right,
you wouldn't believe the things that we see. So incredible.
No, we had to do that for the firm, where I had somebody walk in and they were, we said, hey, here's your username, here are your credentials, make sure that you've got them, tucked away somewhere else, and then don't leave these exposed. And it's literally, you open up the laptop and you got username and password. And I'm just like,
yep, come on, man, come on. And it happens all the time. It even happens to people that are, I won't name names, but there's people who are in charge of, our government cyber that do stuff like this.
Oh yeah,
that have plain text username and passwords physically on the device itself.
Well, and it's also the mentality they have of, oh, no one's ever going to come and get through my stuff.
Exactly, and then they are really surprised when their leadership hires us to come in and actually physically enter in a stealth engagement, enter in and compromise the networks. So
whenever you do that, are you then hired to fix it, or
purely offensive?
Okay.
So we get to do the fun stuff. Gotcha. Is what I tell
you
people.
Get to try to breach in everything.
Exactly. The blue team, the system hardening, the remediation, as we call it, that's more on the IT companies that come through. So, and that's, by the way, the differentiator between what we are and what you might see from an IT company. I know, like, one of your sponsors, Cortex, great company. Love working with those guys. The main differentiator is that we're offering more things in the professional services lane. So our guys have that engineering background. We all went to the College of Engineering. We build things. So we design and we build product. Or in the case of cybersecurity, we're quite literally engineering these solutions and these assessments as part of our audits. We have frameworks that we're building off of in our work. So that's why when people ask me, like, are you an IT company? We're really more of a tech agency that does a software development in cybersecurity.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. So you've got this going on in the maritime space, which just sounds super
It's
intriguing.
Our vertical, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then how did I know you kind of talked a little bit about the gaming getting started, but like really, how do you find the balance between the two?
The game studio, it's a passion project. Okay. It's something that, like I said, my co-founder and I, we've been gamers since we were in diapers. I used to be a semi-professional gamer.
Okay.
I played, yeah.
What was your game?
Team Fortress 2. Okay. So,
Jay, do you know that?
Yeah. Of course, man. You know how many hats I have in Team Fortress 2?
How many hats?
Yes, the hat economy is the defining feature of the game.
It's if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
know.
You know, man.
Clearly. Okay. The hat economy. All right.
So, Team Fortress 2, like kind of a competitive shooter in a battle arena sort of setting. And I did a lot of content creation there as well. So had a YouTube channel and really grew that following. I think before, a lot of people were making careers out of it. I guess people were making careers out of it very early on, but it's not like it is today, where everyone can be like a content creator and make a real living off of this thing. So yeah, always had a passion for video games. So is my co-founder, and our team is a small but very dedicated one, right? It is difficult to balance. Obviously, it's a money sink. Like I said, it took several years at a minimum to build what we're trying to build. And you're going to be pumping money into that until it starts to bring you a return. But it's very much a passion project. Like it's what we want to be doing. The market has become a challenging one, I'll say this, for video games, especially if you're not in the mobile space. So we're really taking our time, taking it slowly. We want to make sure that when we build it, we do it right. But thankfully, my co-founder is certainly more involved in the actual production, the ops behind Griffin Games. That way, I can make the high level decisions for the business, for the studio. But most of my day-to-day is dedicated to Vigilus and Grass-Fed. Grass-Fed being where our software development is transitioning under the kind of brand.
Got it. So in the gaming world and the creation piece, how does one even start, like, to begin to build a game?
Yeah. So people do these things called game jams when they're in school. And sometimes when they're not in school, but it's a hackathon of sorts, but specific around video game development. For those of you who don't know what a hackathon is, there's a prompt that's given, and you build the prompt from a team of 4 or 5 people. So it could be, for instance, the prompt is an app for therapy for dogs, right? You want to schedule therapy for your dog? Here's the interface, and you have 24 hours to go build this app. That's a hackathon. Game jams, similarly, you'll have a theme. We're going to do a snow theme, right? So you build a game where there's ice skating, something like that. So people usually do these hackathons and see what it's like to really get some hands-on experience developing video games, because you'll find in this nerd culture, and especially in computer science and software, a lot of these guys and girls get into it because they want to make video games. You go and ask the incoming freshman class at LSU, what do you want to do? It's starting to shift a little more towards cyber, but I'd be willing to wager a guess that half of them say that they want to make video games. Half of them. And that is a astonishing amount for what actually end up going into the game development industry. We're talking about probably less than 5%, maybe like 2 or 3% of graduates from LSU in computer science are going to actually go and make video games. It's a very challenging industry to work in, very cutthroat. The studios have tough hours. The pay is super competitive. I mean, opposite of that, I mean, the labor market is really competitive, so the pay is usually not the best for what kind of background you have. So again, when it comes to these sorts of things, it's a labor of love, I'd say.
Welcome to the brand new Falaya mobile app. We took all the same tech that's helped hundreds of people sell their homes themselves and packed it into an easy-to-use app for your phone. When you download the Falaya mobile app on either the Apple or Android App Store, you'll immediately be able to see the power of this game-changing tool. From the seller's dashboard, you can navigate to all the information that you need. We intentionally separated everything into key groups, such as tasks to be completed, buyer leads for your listing, and contact information for everyone involved through closing. When you get an offer on your property, you can simply review and respond all within the app. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to monitor everything that's going on with your property from listed to sold. It's truly the power of Falaya in the palm of your hand. Download the app and see for yourself. Falaya, it's real estate reimagined.
So people go to game jams, and they initially have that spark. They see if it works for them, and then they start to put some feelers out there. We here in Baton Rouge, we have something called IGDA, International Game Developers Association, which is run and led by Jason Tate of Pixel Dash. He'd be a wonderful guest to have on someday. He's been running a game studio here in Baton Rouge for well over, I think, 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. They do a lot of game development for hire, and they build really cool things. So there's a network of video game developers, and we get together usually every month or two. We often collaborate with AIE. So that's the Academy of Interactive Entertainment over in Lafayette. It's one of the few accredited schools of video game development in the country. There's the other AIE is in like Seattle, I believe. There's a game development school in Lafayette. Freaking yet, man. And that was the most surprising thing about not the fact that there's a game development school, but it's in Lafayette. Right?
Like, of all places,
to people from Lafayette, by the way, this is not a dig at you. It's just like video games